What is up, my friends? You are welcome along to our match reaction here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool just about beat West Ham by 2-1. Goals on the day from Luis Diaz and, of course, our captain Virgil van Dijk. West Ham's goal, a rather clumsy own goal. A mess between Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson sees Virgil play the ball off Robbo into the net. It was panic stations for a moment, but the Reds regrouped, went back up the other end and scored and get the job done. So we're going to go through, give you our thoughts on the game. Of course, ask you to let us know yours in the comment section. If you do enjoy the stream, please do drop a like on it and hit that subscribe button. But I think relieved is the word of the day, right? Because first half, I didn't have too many complaints whatsoever. Second half, we looked like we'd settled for a 1-0 win. And we can't do that. We aren't that team that can just sit back in a 1-goal lead. We made a mess defensively. They equalised, and thankfully we went up the other end and got the win. So we can sit here knowing we're now 2 wins away from league title number 20. And let's get stuck into it and discuss it. Of course, thank you again to our sponsors, Manscaped. Can't do the watch-alongs without the support. And again, check out the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra all-in-one men's grooming kit featuring the Lawnmower 5.0, the Weed Whacker, Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer, Manscaped's 2 liquid formulations, a couple of free gifts to you as well, the Shed Travel Bag and the Boxer Briefs. You can get that and anything else at manscaped.com with 20% off and free shipping store-wide with a code Anfield20. Right, let's get into the chat and see how everyone's feeling. Wesley, you were the first one I'd seen through. Craig calls out set pieces and VVD gets a goal. Profit. I'm here to help. Mate. Every time it seems I go in on a player, they go and score. So, yeah, that defensive work, though, was shambolic. I don't like the languid way Virgil just swings at balls and clears them. It's just not good enough. And then on top of that, we had a warning as well after that. We'd seen West Ham bring Fulkrug on. He gets somehow in between Virgil and Canade, who are 5 yards either side of him, and he hits the bar. It was just not good enough defensively today. And I don't know what the instructions were at half-time, but we came out in the second half and just tried to coast through the game. Credit to West Ham, they certainly came back into it, but it was a far from convincing display in that second 45. Matthew said, Craig, is there any shot we actually get Huijsen since Slot doesn't trust Kwanzaa and Joey is injured? We need competition for our centre-backs. Yes, there's a very good chance, mate. We've already started those conversations. But, look, I'm going to ask again. I'm unsure of what's going on with Canade in his future. Because if he's really asking for 200 grand a week, he is not a 200 grand a week defender. He makes me nervous. And I want a more reassured, calm presence back. So let's have a chat around him as well. Happy that we won, but that second half was Onana bad, said Major Zero. Once again, though, we've seen a situation where the manager snubbed Elliott completely and snubbed Chiesa. I've no problem with him taking Bradley off. That's expected. Coming back from an injury, 65, 70 minutes, probably the most Conor Bradley can play. So I've no problems with that change whatsoever. Taking off Salah, again, I can understand that. I don't really have problems with it, but it's the way that we were just sitting back on that 1-goal lead that worried me. We don't bring on Chiesa. We take off Diogo Jota, who, look, was not having a good game, but to then put Diaz through the centre, it just feels like we're doing everything possible to not make Chiesa feel wanted at the club. And Liverpool fans, myself and many others, are extremely confused and concerned about why he's getting the cold shoulder. The man of the match poll is up as well, by the way, folks. If you want to vote away, your options are Alisson Becker, Luis Diaz, Alexis McAllister, and me. And the fact that I'm not winning this poll yet is a disgrace. You know, I got you the winner. Now, jokes aside, do vote away. Alisson is one amazing, beautiful bar steward of a goalkeeper, said Nomad. Done goodbye, said Dorian Govern. Don't know what that one's about. No idea why Elliott and Chiesa, why he doesn't think they can't do a job. Canade not worth £200 a week, let alone 200 grand, said Roger French. Wesley said Ibu hasn't been the same since he hurt his knee. He just looks all over the place at the minute, mate. And Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Arna sells him this summer or not. Tom said, don't know why Harvey didn't come on and didn't know why Federico didn't come on. Dom was off it and Robbo was not a good sub today in my opinion. He's the one that needs to leave. He is far from his best. So, you know what, Tom? I totally agree with you about the Robbo change. I thought we lost a step. Costas was having a decent game for me. And I didn't see the need to take him off and bring Andy Robertson on. We certainly looked to be more vulnerable on that left-hand side defensively after Robbo came on. So, yeah, I don't disagree with you. And look, everybody is equally as confused as each other around the Elliott and Chiesa situation. I still don't know why Darwin wasn't even on the bench today. Let's look through some of the numbers for the game and you can see how West Ham really did come back into it in the second half. 56% possession for Liverpool, 44% for West Ham. 15 shots in the game for Liverpool, 6 on target. 11 shots for West Ham, 4 on target. Dangerous attacks, 59 for the Reds, 28 for West Ham. Corners, Liverpool racked up 10 today, 3 for West Ham. 489 passes from Liverpool, 86% passing accuracy percentage. West Ham, 396 passes with a similar 86% accuracy. It's just, I don't know, it was a nervy second half and you could feel that there was every chance West Ham were going to equalise. Mike Sigley, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. Aaron Atkin, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC to you. 2 wins away now, said Foxy. Yep, let's not lose sight of that in all of this. You're right. We are just 2 wins away from the Premier League title. We have Leicester City away next Sunday at 4:30 and then Spurs. And let's be honest, they are both eminently winnable games. So I'm hoping I'm sitting here with you guys 2 weeks from today and we're celebrating. Cian Owen said, Craig, I knew from the start of the season we'll win. Well, cheers, I wish I did, Keno. I definitely didn't feel we were going to win the league this year, but I'll tell you what, I'm extremely grateful that we are. Colin said, are you lot surely Craig wins man of the match? I know, it's a travesty, isn't it? It's a travesty. But, you know, look, Alisson had a great game. And where would we be without him, in all honesty? Made 2 or 3 big saves today. The one he touched onto the crossbar from Kudus. Another one-on-one save that he made. And yeah, without Alisson in goal there today, that game could have ended up a little bit differently. Mukrab said, Craig, the centre-backs were simply poor defensively. Mike said, mate, Virgil has been a liability for us in the last 3 games, far too casual. It's just the whole tone of it, right? The whole tone of the lackadaisical attitude of our defending. Like, that's why I keep talking about Bradley so much, because he gets on the front foot, gets stuck in and makes things happen. The centre-backs just look way too relaxed, right? Somebody needs to put a rocket up their backside and get more physicality introduced into the game from both of them. Wesley, thank you, man. So got to head out. Love you, Craig. All hail the prophet. Turquoise said, he's a centre-half. He's a number 4. Watch him defend and we watch him score. He'll pass the ball. Cam as you like. Who is he? He's Virgil van Dijk. And thank you, Turquoise, mate. And it was great header. It was about time we scored from a set piece, to be fair. Bob said, in slot, I do not trust. Big call, that one. Now, look, I think a lot of people, Bob, today would say they were certainly unhappy with the substitutions from Arna, which I think is more than fair. But I'm just confused as to how we came out in the second half with such a change in attitude. You know, first 45, I really enjoyed it. And we limited West Ham to nothing, really. And they had that one chance Alisson tipped onto the bar, but we were dominating the game. Second half, we came out and it was so one-paced, and West Ham grew in confidence as the second half went on. Matthew, Johnny said, last season Kwanzaa looked like the best centre-back, young centre-back in the league. First half of this season, Canada looked like the best centre-back. I wonder what happened. I mean, you guys are on the money with your thought processes and your comments today. It is a noodle scratcher. Guillerme said, Alisson can't be sold. Madness if he is the best I've ever seen in a red shirt. Ed Carragher said, there was a time when journos would ask managerial questions like not playing Elliott and Chiesa, but they're too afraid of losing their box seats now. Glad we got the win. It's not even a difficult question, Ed, though, is it, for them to ask? Like, it's not a personal question. It's not a stupid question. It's Arna, why aren't we seeing more of Federico Chiesa? Arna, why aren't we seeing Elliott utilised more? I think they're very valid questions. And like you, Ed, I'm extremely disappointed that the journalists don't ask them. But then they get all uppity when people tell them that they're not doing a very good job and get defensive. I'd ask that. I'm sure you guys would ask it. You know, it's not a tough question. Sedan said we should be battering these teams at home. Instead, we score first and then decide to sit back and allow the pressure to build on us and its onslaught. It is. I don't disagree, Sedan. Arne certainly let that game build to a point where West Ham grew in confidence and he was too late to act. And then he did act and took off Salah, brought on Endo to try shore it up, and then we conceded a calamitous goal, to be fair. You could see how angry Robbo was. Owen said players are getting tired playing all them minutes. Massive transfer window needs this summer. Do you know what though, Owen? In all honesty, mate, I'm not having, this is named at you by the way, but I'm not having fatigue as a bullshit excuse anymore. These lads have one game a week now. Plenty of time to prepare, plenty of time to rest up. So there's no excuse for fatigue at this point. You know, you're getting a week between games. We should be at our peak. We should be looking fresh. We should be tearing into these teams. And again, first half, I felt we did well, but I don't know where that second half came from, and I don't know what the hell the manager was thinking with some of the substitutions and the way he's once again ignored Chiesa and Elliott. Naheem said, do you think we're going to have a big summer this year? It depends how much old John and Tom are willing to spend. I think they're going to be held to account by the fans this summer. Everybody was trying to be mindful of it being Arna's first season and allowing him to look at the squad, allowing Hughes to get his feet under the table. But they've had a full year now, and if they don't back the manager up with what we know we need this summer, then you know what I'll be doing. I'll be calling them out, but I hope others continue to notice it and do the same. But look, let's wait and see how the window goes. You know, if we start off with some good early business, that should be a nice optimistic sign. Arthur Smith said Kirkes got to be target number one. I think Kirkes and Huijsen are right up there at the tippity top of our list of targets. But again, we have to wait and see. But Kirkes, look, I'd be amazed if he's not a Liverpool player. Christian, always lovely to see you. My friend said, I love the job Slot is doing, but I'm not liking some of his decisions when subs are concerned. Much love from the USA. Up the Reds. Always lovely to see you in, Christian. I hope you're having a good weekend. Itachi said, I really enjoyed this watch along today. It was my first one and it was great. Glad to be here and happy I found this channel. Greetings from Germany. You're a gentleman. Thank you. And we're glad you found the channel as well, my friend. Thank you for your support. If we beat Leicester and Ipswich do Arsenal, we're champions. Yep. And they play before us as well, Foxy. So if Ipswich were to beat Arsenal, well then we'd know that game against Leicester would see us crowned champions. But you know what? I'd rather do it at home, if that makes any sense, Carl. Matthew said, the thoughts of Huijsen in a Liverpool shirt gets me excited. What a player he is. Me too. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Kwanzaa and Kanade both leave this summer. I wouldn't. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I don't know for a fact it's going to happen. Please don't take that as gospel, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit. USA Copboy, tell him still on my cruise and we're cruising to the title. Arrive in Brest in France tomorrow, getting close to Liverpool. Oh mate, we're not starting the Brest jokes again. Enjoy the cruise though. What else we got? Slot needs between 4 and 6 signings this summer, says Aaron Atkin. Our drop-off since that City game is the drop-off we shouldn't be seeing, but at this point it was too late for Arsenal to come back at that point. Well look, we've increased the gap again now to 14, so you know we are strolling to the title, but again it's not uberly convincing, this, is it, the way that we're playing? Please can you shout out my dad, Colin Hellstrip? Of course, Colin, my friend. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. And what a lovely gesture from your daughter as well. So thank you, Leanne. And of course, Colin, how are you, sir? Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the game. And again, appreciate your support to both of you. Thank you. Stevie Boy said, come on, 20 times Liverpool, and I hear people say they don't trust Slot, the same man in his first season winning a title. You seen one person, I think, Stevie Boy, say they don't trust Slot. But I think we're all just a little bit confused as to what our style of football is at the minute. And again, first half, very few complaints from me anyway. Second half, I don't understand where the intensity went. Virgil, some comments from Virgil. Said, everybody knows I love this club. Let's see what happens next week. Or he said, let's see what next week looks like. So I think Virgil basically saying their contract sorted out this week. Mo Salah said, hopefully Virgil will be next. Speaking about his contract as well. So nice one in that one. It was great to see Mo playing with such a smile on his face again today. And he looks way more relaxed out there. Can I give your dad Taddy a shout out? I mean, I feel we do this every week, Bransfield, but Taddy, how are we, my man? Having a good weekend, I hope, enjoying the good weather. We trust Slot, but still deserves criticism, said Matthew. I think that's fair. You know, nobody can sit here and say that they didn't think the subs weakened us today and that we didn't lose our intensity. But Stevie Boy also has a very fair point in that we are about to win the title in his first season and win it by a comfortable margin. PC Drat, hope you're keeping well, Craig. WFM, I am, sir. I am. I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it even more now that we're 3 points closer to league title number 20. It makes him happy when you give him a shout out. Well, I'm always happy to say hello, Bransfield, especially to yourself and your dad Thaddy, who are always here with us, watching the streams and supporting the channel. Right, we need to get those likes up, folks. Let's get to 1,000 likes for the match reaction for the Reds moving within 2 victories of a Premier League title. Well, Premier League title number 2 and league title number 20. Salah's contract has an option of a 3rd year, ? I'm not aware of it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. All I know is he signed a 2-year extension. I can't say for certain if there's a 3rd option or not, a 3rd year option or not. I just don't know. Why do we just play 50% in one of the 2 halves like we've nothing else to play for? Then a strong finish feels so unnecessary to give other teams a chance. I was expecting, Elliot, that today we came out of the traps 100 miles an hour and showed that the weight was off our shoulders, that we're more relaxed now with the contract situation being sorted, played with a swagger. And we did that to some extent in the first 45, but you're right, the intensity just fell off a cliff then. Vimal said, we're winning the league. It's only human to have moments of complacency. These lackluster performances will serve as valuable lessons for next season when we go again to win the Premier League. You'll never walk alone. Sensible words, Vimal. Yeah, sensible words, my friend. But what gets me, Vimal, is I do understand what you're saying, but some of these players are playing for the futures. So there should be no complacency. You know, players like Andy Robertson who know somebody's coming in next season to battle for that starting berth. And Kwanzaa, a right back, he looked okay, to be fair, but I'm unsure what Arne Slot football is at this moment in time, if I'm being really honest. I don't know what our style is under him. Is he altering it a bit to just try and get over the line until he gets a squad of players that he feels can really implement the way he wants the game to be played, or is this his style of football that we're seeing? So on the potential handball incident, by the way, because I know people were speaking about that, the PGMOLs or the Premier League account said the ref's call for potential handball was checked and confirmed by VAR, with Ward-Prowse's action deemed to be accidental and not a handball offence. So there you go on that one. I bet Salah would do a 3rd season for free if he was 15 goals short of Shearer's record, said Bricktop. Barry Ward said, well, we got away with that one, but something seriously wrong not using Elliott and Chiesa, which is a shame. Also that Darwin has played his last game. Did we ever get confirmation on what actually did happen with Darwin? Like why he wasn't in the squad at all? I truly have no idea as I sit here talking to you guys now. Jeremy said, I agree, Craig. Not sure what our default FIFA tactics are with Slot. I don't know. It genuinely is confusing to try and figure it out. I hope it becomes clear to us when he starts to put together what I guess he would call his own squad. Matthew said, we always seem to play worse when we have a longer break. Look, don't get any of us wrong. We won. It's brilliant. And we're marching to this Premier League title. But we made hard work of that today. Thankfully, we came through with the winner. Virgil got his header, which, of course, relieved the stress. But again, it was twitchy bum time for quite a bit in that second half. And West Ham really did come back into the game. Score TV said Arne Slot better improve his tactics and trust his subs next season. In other words, his decision making is worrying. Joseph Purvis said we're a controlled possession side. Arne wants to dictate pace and dynamics of the match. It allows more quality chances. Does it though? Like, would you say there today we created more quality chances? I can understand wanting to keep the ball because, you know, there's an old adage in football: make the ball do the work, tire the other team out, keep possession. But you don't just keep possession for the sake of it. And I get that he wants us to keep the ball and move it around till we find that perfect pass. But there's a severe lack of movement ahead of them at times as well. And I don't know, I just feel we play a lot of the game in front of teams these days, and it's a lot easier for them to sit up with a low block. What else we got? I really feel for Robbo. He's been a fantastic servant to the club. Such a shame he's not at his best anymore, said Paskey. It is, but, you know, we do have to address that situation in the summer. We need a left back in, and maybe then we see Robbo used more sparingly. Does Chiesa get a medal for just being in the squad? So, the club will get extra medals that they can do as they please. But I think is a 5 games minimum to get the medal direct, guaranteed from the Prem. But as far as I'm aware, the club will have a group of medals that they can give out as well. So I'd expect he'd get one. I wouldn't personally. I thought we played better in Klopp's style of play, said Adzer. I thought we were far more creative in Slot style. Maybe that's because we created those moments of chaos. But we're not even pressing as high up the pitch second half today. Like, first half, we were hunting in packs and creating turnovers and winning the ball back high up the pitch. Second half, that all faded away. We're very much like traffic cones when crosses come in or throw in, said Mukrab. Chiesa needs to be used, said Tanya. Yep. Look, there is no logical explanation, Tanya, why Chiesa isn't being used. And the only thing that I can say is it feels like Arne just wants to make a point. Don't give me players that I don't want. You know, and I'm not saying that's definitely the answer, but I can't think of another one. You know, it was easy to say he's not fit for the first few months of the season, but that excuse kind of faded away as the season went on. So, I've dropped to join third now in the man of the match poll. Shocking. After me getting you the winner and all. So your man of the match poll is still up if you want to vote away. We have a few minutes left to go. The options: Alisson Becker, Luis Diaz, Alexis McAllister, and me for giving out to Virgil and making him score the winner. Yomi, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. And Craig Rooney, same to you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you. Guilherme said, what I don't understand is that Elliot and Chiesa are creative players. Look at them last season at Juve. Yep. I thought, look, when you were bringing off Jota today, why not put Chiesa through the centre? I don't understand that. He put Diaz through the centre, and look, he's done that a lot this season. Can totally understand him wanting to give Cody minutes on the left, but again, it just feels like he's almost making an example out of Chiesa. And as for Elliot, well, look, again, it feels like it seems like he's going in the summer. Elliot Havoc, so we need a right back, a left back, athletic profiles, We're no longer a crossing team that need our fullbacks creating volumes. Massive summer transfer window, need more players. As Arne only trusts 15 players max, said Stevie Kirkman. If we don't sign the players FSG need to be getting, it is not acceptable. We need to defend this league title. Yeah, and look, I do feel, even with Virgil and Mo staying, going into next season, I feel like we're at least set up to make a good fist of it. But with the right signings, so the left back, the right back, the centre forward, maybe another creative midfield player, I think, yeah, we've every chance of realistically feeling like we can go and defend that title. So Liverpool have won all 14 games at Anfield that Virgil van Dijk has scored in, which is another interesting stat. It's now the all-time most games any player has scored at Anfield while winning 100% in the club's history, overtaking Alex Lindsay's 13. So there you go, and thank you, Mark, for sending that on. Chiesa is definitely better than current form Diogo Jota and Cody Gakpo as well, said Nessie. Adzer, enjoy work, my man. We'll catch you later. Naheem said, do you think we're going to need more creative midfielders? Love Dom, but sometimes I wish we had more creativity. Yes, I think if Elliott gets sold, I would expect Liverpool to bring in another creative midfielder. Fermin Lopez, as an example, his name has been mentioned a couple of times. HFMCE said, Slot is getting annoying. He's lucky this season. I agree that today was annoying. And I was as frustrated as everybody the way that we let that game go and the lack of intensity. And again, West Ham's confidence was building and building. And we didn't do enough. He took off Salah and brought on Endo. So you're feeling like he's trying to shut up shop. But when West Ham scored then, we looked like all of a sudden the switch went off again and the urgency came in. And that urgency should be there the entire game. Like, we aren't a team who are strong enough defensively to score one and sit back. We need to go and keep playing and put teams to the sword. So, yeah, it's frustrating. Again, it always seems to happen when we concede or go behind. Then we kick into gear. So this piece now coming in said Liverpool would demand a fee in the region of 17 million to 22 million for Chiesa, with the 27-year-old a target for AC Milan and other clubs in the Premier League should Liverpool look to cash in. Well, I'd be amazed if they don't, because, you know, why would the lad stay around to just sit on the bench getting splinters in his backside? Football Manager Insider. Hi Craig, if Liverpool beat Leicester away and Arsenal lose at Ipswich, then Liverpool win the league on April 20th. It's becoming real. Yep. Now look, I think we might have to wait till the week after till we play Spurs, but either way, 6 points, 2 wins away, and as you've rightly said, if Arsenal were to lose to Ipswich next week, then it could be next Sunday. But let's wait and see what next weekend has in store for us. But you're right, my man, we are getting very close now. Virgil's record at Anfield is actually insane, said Elliot. He lost like 3 games in 7 years. Makes you realise how good Kloppo's side was. Pasky said, only thing I can say is Chiesa can't be versatile enough from Slot's point of view. He's a right winger and nobody can replace Mo. He's in his worst position at the club to get a start. He's a right winger, but again, the position he played most at Juventus was central. So he's more than capable of playing central. And I just really don't think there is a valid excuse as to why Arna hasn't given him more opportunities. So look, folks, let's bring the Man of the Match poll to a close. And me and Luis Diaz are joined for second place. But your Anfield Agenda Man of the Match, and one I think I absolutely agree with, is Alisson Becker. With 54% of the vote, I just push out Luis Diaz into second place. Well done, folks. But yeah, Alisson Becker, your Anfield Agenda Man of the Match. If you can do me a massive favour, folks, and hit that like button for me, it'd be great to get 1,000 likes on the match reaction as well. The good news, I'll be back here tonight at 8:30 for the late night agenda, where chat will be back to everybody being able to chat again. So hope you can come back, let us know your thoughts on the game. 8:30, the player ratings video is coming up soon. If you want to submit your player ratings, you can do so with the link pinned to the top of the chat there now. Connor will then average them out and we'll contrast and compare them with my player ratings, which I'm going to record now in a moment. Want to say thank you once again to our incredible sponsors, Manscaped. Why not treat yourself to the Chairman Pro Package face shaving kit from Manscaped, featuring everything you can see on the screen, including the lovely carry case, and get 20% off and free shipping. That is 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com with our code Anfield20. Use that at checkout or scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Look, see you at 8:30. Can't wait to catch up with you all again. We'll get stuck into it and hear everybody's thoughts on the game. Enjoy the United Newcastle game if you're going to watch that now, and keep an eye out for the player ratings video dropping soon. Much love, my friends. Thank you for all your help. As always, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.